There are close to 1,300 varieties of grapes used to produce wine. In 2023, 240 million hectoliters of wine were produced and sent into the world. That's enough wine to fill 10,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools, with France accounting for 48 million of those hectoliters. What's more, even Antarctica produces some wine. Yes, the blistering cold continent of Antarctica produces wine that is relatively salty and known as ice wine. Not only is the wine industry one of the largest on the planet, but its history goes back millennia and is part of why the Roman Empire became, well, the Roman Empire. However, before we can get into the juicy details of wine's role in the Roman Empire, we should first understand how it's made and its earliest traces in history. At the heart of winemaking is fermentation, where yeast interacts with grape sugars to produce alcohol. This process, known as vinification, can be modified in various ways to craft distinct styles of wine. For instance, the choice of grape, the method of fermentation, and the aging process are three factors that influence a wine's character. Other winemaking techniques include fortification, where a distilled spirit like brandy is added to the wine, increasing its alcohol content and altering its flavor. Another method is maceration, also known as skin contact, where the grape skins and seeds remain in contact with the juice during the fermentation process. This technique is especially important in red wine production, as it imparts color, tannins, and additional flavor components to the wine. Wine generally falls into two main categories, red and white. Red wine boasts a bold color, and its deep flavors come from grape skins. During fermentation, the skins and seeds are left in contact with the juice, giving the wine its signature red or purple hue. The process also imparts flavors described as similar to berries, earth, chocolate, and tobacco. Red wines often age in oak barrels, which not only soften the wine but also introduce new flavors from the wood. Popular red wine grapes include Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Malbec. On the other hand, white wine is made by removing the grape skins and seeds before fermentation, resulting in a clear, crisp wine. The flavor profile of white wine is typically lighter, featuring notes of tropical fruits, citrus, and flowers. Most white wines aren't aged in oak, but in steel or concrete vats, but there are exceptions like Chardonnay, which develops its rich flavor and texture from oak aging. Common white wine grapes include Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, and Riesling. Now, the story of wine stretches back thousands of years, with its earliest roots in the Neolithic period. In what is now the nation of Georgia, ancient winemakers used clay vessels called quaverie to ferment grapes, marking the first known production of wine. This practice quickly spread across neighboring regions like Armenia, Iran, Turkey, and Azerbaijan, each developing its own winemaking traditions. Wine culture expanded around the Mediterranean, thanks in large part to the Phoenicians, a seafaring people based in what is now Lebanon. Through their trade and colonization, viticulture found its way to new lands. This is where the Roman Empire comes in. The Romans' land was rich with soil and the Vitis vinifera grapevine, which remains the most common type used to make wine today and played a crucial role in the rise of Rome. Roman winemaking quickly birthed a major industry for the empire, with the Roman wines regarded as some of the finest in the world. The wine trade flourished, supported by Rome's extensive road network, which allowed for efficient transportation and sale of wine across the vast empire. This trade not only enriched the Roman economy, but also elevated those involved in the wine industry to positions of significant power and influence. The prosperity generated by the wine trade was essential to the financial health of the empire, making it one of Rome's most valuable exports and helping fund its adventures for years to come. Now, the Romans went on to expand their practice for winemaking to some of the best wine-producing regions in the world, including Spain, Germany, and France, where today's Old World wines are produced. The New World's journey into winemaking began with the Spanish colonization of the Americas. Spanish missionaries brought grapevines to regions like California, Chile, and Argentina, where they thrived and laid the foundation for today's vibrant wine industries. South Africa's wine history, meanwhile, was shaped by Dutch merchants who introduced vines in the 1600s. The British later expanded viticulture in the region, and when they took over in 1795, South African wines flourished. These thriving vineyards eventually supplied vines to British colonies in Australia, kickstarting the country's own wine industry. As we end our journey through history and travel back to today's world, we see France as the #1 producer of wine worldwide, but in the United States, California alone accounts for 81% of the country's total production. Whether you're a fan of bold reds or crisp whites, the next time you raise a glass, you'll be savoring more than just a drink. You'll be tasting a piece of history.